Flight delays are piling up for a third day as the government shutdown hits day 8. Nearly 10,000 flights were delayed Monday and Tuesday because of air traffic controller shortages. A major roadblock in talks to reopen the government is the Democrats' push to extend COVID-era Obamacare subsidies, which could then be used to fund abortion and gender transition procedures. Now this, along with other spending demands from Democrats, could stick taxpayers with a $1.5 trillion bill. So Republicans, as of yet, are not going along with it. Joining me now is Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper, who's been following today's main stories. So, Casey, let's start with this. Are Americans starting to feel the government shutdown?
Yeah, Tony, they absolutely are. They're feeling the fallout from Congress not being able to make a deal. Thousands of flights have already been delayed, and the situation, it's only going to get worse if the government doesn't reopen soon. The FAA in particular is short-staffed, which is causing this widespread chaos at these airports. Republicans, they say Democrats are to blame for refusing to end the shutdown while insisting on those costly, unnecessary COVID-era subsidies.
Many Democrats in this chamber, by the way, I want to note, are going to receive paychecks this month while the men and women of the U.S. Capitol Police who are protecting them will not. Here's another headline from the New York Post. Aviation groups warn a government shutdown will delay aircraft safety inspections.
So Speaker Mike Johnson, he says Democrats are holding the country hostage to protect those subsidies. 2 Senate votes to reopen the government today failed once again. And meanwhile, troops, they're not going to get paid, and travel problems will keep piling up, Tony.
All right, thanks, Casey. Actually, later in the program, we're going to dive a little deeper into the government shutdown with Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson. But let me emphasize the COVID-era Obamacare subsidies that Democrats want to extend. It bypasses the Hyde Amendment, allowing taxpayer funds to be used for abortions. And of course, the Family Research Council is leading the effort to remove those provisions and put the Obamacare provisions under the Hyde. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later when FRC's Kana Gonzalez joins me. Now, turning to another topic, law and order here at home. Casey, what's the latest news coming out of the Windy City?
Well, Tony, Texas National Guard troops have arrived outside of Chicago. Now, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, he blasted President Trump's decision to deploy those National Guard troops to his city.
Let me be clear. Donald Trump is using our service members as political props and as pawns in his illegal effort to militarize our nation's cities.
So far, ignoring legal arguments from Democrats, a judge recently cleared the deployment. Now, President Trump, he says if the governor won't act, he will. He argues troops are there to protect the federal agents during immigration crackdowns, and of course they have been the target of a lot of harassment. But Trump also slammed Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker. He says they failed to protect those ICE officers and even said they should go to jail. But the president's perspective here, it's clear. He says he's stepping in where local leaders won't, Tony.
All right, let's go to the Middle East, Casey. What's the latest on the Israel-Hamas negotiations that are underway in Egypt?
Well, peace talks to end the war in Gaza, they are gaining momentum. Experts at speaking at a White House event on the surge of left-wing violence, President Trump said that a Middle East peace deal is actually close.
They're doing very well. We have a great team over there, great negotiators, and there are unfortunately great negotiators on the other side also. But it's something I think that will happen, got a good chance of happening. I may go there sometime toward the end of the week, maybe on Sunday.
Hamas has submitted lists for a potential hostage prisoner swap. In Turkey, they say the negotiations are making progress. Now, Jared Kushner and Israeli Minister Ron Dermer, they've joined the talks in Egypt, and they're supporting President Trump's 20-point peace plan, which includes a ceasefire and a path to Gaza's post-war future. Israel, they've scaled back their military offensive, but the fighting does continue despite President Trump calling for an end to airstrikes. But these key questions still remain, Tony, including who's going to govern Gaza and will Hamas actually lay down their weapons?
Well, those are big questions that have to be answered. Casey, thanks so much for updating us.
Thanks.